Odisha, a culturally rich land with deep religiosity, is a home to multiple ethnic groups who live in symbiotic relation with one another and nature. The spectacular nature's bounty makes Odisha truly a land where one can explore the infinity in finite realities. It is to this land the messengers of Christ arrived, bringing hope and peace. Christian history in Odisha can be traced from three distinct periods. Christianity in the Portuguese period, when Christianity confined itself to the Odisha coast. Christianity in southern Odisha, initiated through the inspiring work of missionaries of Saint Francis de Sales and Congregation of the Mission during the infamous Meria or human sacrifice, and Christianity in western Odisha, spearheaded by the untiring zeal of the Jesuits and the Divine Word missionaries. Christian history of Odisha during the Portuguese period was limited to a few towns like Pipli, Tomboli, etc. on the Odisha coast, enlivened by the sparkling maritime activities that had a number of European Catholics involved in the factories or at the service of the local chiefs. Due to the decline in trade and in the absence of native Christians, the centers disappeared like sandy castles on the beach. In 1850, the Catholic Church in southern Odisha got a strong foundation when the MSFs were looking for a place to build a station where they could collaborate with the government to stop the horrendous Meria and proclaim the God of love and peace to the Anavim of Yahweh. With the establishment of Sorada in Berhampur Diocese, a new chapter dawned for the faithful. Their initial setbacks and disappointments were overcome when the missionaries came forward to provide succor to the victims of Odisha famine. The First World War had its disastrous impact on the mission when the French Francalians were forced to hand over their brainchild to the congregation of the mission, who continued to build up mission in southern Odisha. These were later joined by the diocesan priests, religious men and women who synergistically served to establish the kingdom of God. The beginning of the Catholic Church in western Odisha was the work of the Belgian Jesuits, who responded positively to the repeated requests of people from the princely state of Gangpur. The hostile attitude of the king of Gangpur did not deter the people and missionaries to find a suitable place for mission. Eventually, in 1908, the first parish church was established at Kesramal in Rourkela Diocese. Despite the paucity of personnel and scarcity of resources, the Jesuits lit the fire that went on blazing. Circumstances compelled the Jesuits to hand over the mission to a congregation that would continue their legacy. Despite the post-war years, the Divine Word missionaries, popularly known as the SVDs, accepted to build vibrant faith communities among the receptive and zealous people who saw Christianity as the unique way to regain their lost identity. They were later joined by missionaries with diverse charisms and spiritual traditions. Thus, Catholic Church in Odisha stands tall as an expression to synodality that reminds of the veterans who, with a true spirit of inculturation and adaptation, pitched their tents among the people and accompanied them in their pilgrimage of hope. The laity who, despite poverty, generously kept aside a part of uncooked food for the establishment of mission. The institutions that ushered integral development through education, healthcare, socio-economic reforms, preservation and promotion of cultures, nurturing indigenous vocations, and many more. And the catechist who, as wheels of the mission and as silent warriors of Christ, walked miles defying all dangers to announce the gospel. With all these concerted efforts constantly backed by divine graces, the Catholic Church in Odisha today has 6 dioceses spread across 30 civil districts, with a total of 391 diocesan clergy, 368 religious priests, 75 religious brothers in perpetual vows, 1,477 religious sisters, and 2,085 catechists at the service of a total Catholic population of 5,80,808. Today, 21 religious congregations and institutes of men and 65 religious congregations and institutes of women have made Odisha their mission land. Catholic Church in Odisha has grown to be a hotspot for vocations to priesthood and religious life, with an approximated 450 candidates for sisterhood and 549 seminarians for priesthood and brotherhood undergoing initial formation. We have Servant of God Marian Jalazic and Servant of God Valerian Gomez Rodriguez climbing the honors of the altar, along with Martyr Father Arul Das and the 35 martyrs of Kondomal, shining as examples of profound faith. Collectively speaking, the Catholic Church in Odisha, with its preferential option to the least, the last and the lost, has emerged as a beacon of light amidst the darkness of a wounded world. And the journey continues as pilgrims of hope.